Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum viewers. You are watching YouTube and Facebook channels of Professor Dr. Rizwan Jamil Quresh. I am covering Software Economics course lecture number 10. We were covering project specs and I covered the project introduction document, and then we were covering the economic feasibility, and we discussed there are four types of feasibilities, and we are discussing economic feasibility. And economic feasibility has two things we need to estimate. We need to estimate project benefits and we need to estimate project cost. And we discuss that we have tangible benefits and we have intangible benefits. The tangible that can be measured in monetary values like dollar, real, Pakistani rupee, Indian rupee, pound, euro. And intangible which cannot be directly estimated in monetary values. So we discuss tangible benefits that we have: cost reduction, error reduction, opening new market, sale opportunities, better management planning and control. So I discussed the example of General Electric Company, I discussed the example of ATM system, I discussed the example of Amazon. I missed one of the very popular and famous case study that was conducted in Cisco. Cisco has transformed from the normal physical office into another technology. It's called telecommuting. Anybody heard about telecommuting? What is telecommuting? Telecommuting is a working environment in which employees work away from central office or physical office. Telecommuting is a technology in which employees work away from physical offices, the central offices. For example, using the telecommunication technology, that could be from the home, that could be from telecenters, or that could be using the wireless devices like mobile phones, pagers are there. So Cisco in America decided to switch from physical offices to telecommuting technology, and the text transferred using the telecommuting technology is called teletext, and the employees who are involved in telecommuting technology, they are called telecommuters. So using telecommunication technology, working away from physical office, central office, away from that environment, from anywhere. It could be from home, it could be from telecenters or call centers, or using the mobile devices like mobile phone, pagers, tablets. So that could be any of the wired or wireless media telephone can be used. Now Cisco is the largest networking company in the world. Cisco has networking devices, routers, switches, servers. So they have offices in all 50 states of USA. So they decided to switch from normal working environment to telecommuting. So they removed all their offices from USA, and they only keep the warehouse and accounts department in each state. Now, because of that, they saved office rent, office expenditures, flexible working environment for their employees. They no need to come to office, like they need to leave the home for like 1 hour, 2 hours before. So petrol allowances, office expenditures, they have telephone like AT&T, we have STC, they have AT&T, American Telegraph and Telephone Exchange. So telephone expenses, canteen expenses, tea, coffee, furniture, office routers, switches, hubs, servers, everything they saved. So petrol allowance, telephone, everything, including the office rent, electricity bill, telephone bill, water expenses, they all saved. And they only keep accounts department and warehouse, which is the physical. Now, how they operate? For example, you have a company and you want server or router or switch from the Cisco company. You will order from your office to the Cisco, and then Cisco system will send a message to sales guy or marketing guy. He will go to the customer side and confirm the order or suggest him that this is the better technology or this is the better device for you, better server, better router, better switch, better hubs. After customer agreed on the order, then the marketing guy asks him to pay, and then customer will pay. As customer will pay, he will receive a message like for the STC we have complaint, for example, and once we complain we receive a number. That means once our service is completed, we will tell that number to the technical guy who will come to our house or office to fix the issue of our telephone line or internet Wi-Fi device problem. Similarly, the marketing guy asks him to pay. After he pay, customer will receive a number for service completion. Once service is completed, he will tell that number to the technical staff. Now marketing guy job is done. He will leave. As customer will pay, the technical support team will receive a message from the system that this customer has this order. So technical support team will go to the warehouse and load the router or switch or hub or server and come to the customer side and install the device or server or whatever. After that, once installation is complete, configuration is completed, he will ask the customer that are you happy, satisfied with the installation, with the device. Once customer agreed, then they ask him, please tell us the number. So customer will tell them the number, they will enter, and then order is completed, confirmation. And then accounts department will receive the message that this customer has this payment and this installation, this order is completed, and then they transfer the bonus or what commission or whatever. And in this way, the Cisco from all over the USA, they removed all buildings, and in this way they saved lot of money. So that is very popular case study by Cisco after transferring from the normal technology, normal physical office to telecommuting, and they saved the cost and resources are saved, printers, pages, they switch to green IT. So it's all electronic. So in this way, they have resource reduction, cost reduction, time reduction, and customers are happy and Cisco company is happy. After the success of Cisco, HP is also doing the same thing. They also transferred to the telecommuting technology. So that's the main examples I forgot to discuss in the last lecture. So how much cost they saved, how much resources they saved, time is saved, the Cisco company and then HP company in USA. So we were discussing the intangible benefits that we have. Efficiency of the employees, performance of the employees will be improved by having the automation. Like we have discussed the example of ERP system, Enterprise Resource Planning System. It's a collection of integrated systems, and you enter information in one system is accessible to all and vice versa. For example, King Abdulaziz University, we have 140 departments and each department has its attendance system. So we are doing manual that each department sends the attendance report of their employees to the HR department and the payroll department to calculate the salary, how many present, how many absent. After having the ERP, so you can imagine 140 departments are sending their attendance report to the payroll department to calculate the salary. After having the enterprise resource planning system, attendance system is integrated with the payroll system. So automatically the payroll department will receive the information of all the departments through the attendance system and how many present, how many absent, how many leave. So time is saved, cost is saved, how many employees are involved to take attendance, send the report to the payroll department and they receive the report, then they compile and then they process and then they calculate the salary. It's all automatic. Payroll department, the payroll system automatically calculates the salary based on the information of attendance system, and salary is transferred to the account. So cost is saved, time is saved, resources are saved. That is another example. Because of that, tangible, we have intangible. Efficiency, performance of the employees are improved and quality is improved, like we discussed. Nestle, Apple company, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, they have quality. Samsung. So because of the quality, any new product from Apple company, Google company, Facebook company, Microsoft, IBM, HP, customers will purchase. Almarai in Saudi Arabia, Unilever, Nestle, brand name is there. And employees' morale is improved, because before the information system, we call them clerical staff. The employees, lower management, we call them lower management, or we call them clerical staff. But now, after having the information system, we call them IT assistant, data entry operator. So they have employees, morale is improved because better designation and neat and clean office environment, and AC is there, and they don't have the stack of files, manual files are there, stack of file, paper here and there, because now it's information system. They don't need to keep the stack of files because it's all electronically available, accessible to them. So that's good for them in terms of working environment. So they love to work healthy environment. And company goodwill will also improve, because customers are satisfied. If customers are satisfied, company goodwill, company reputation will improve. Like General Electric company, after having the Delta system installation at all service centers of USA, they can repair their engine within couple of days or within 1 week. No need to wait for senior engineer to come to their state. So they are happy, they are satisfied with the company. And in this way, your customer is the best marketing guy. One customer will bring, one happy customer will bring 10 customers. So in this way, you have more sale and you have tangible benefit because of the company goodwill. Quality, intangible. It will affect to company goodwill, which is also intangible, but it will improve your sale, which is the tangible. You can calculate how much your sale will improve because of the company goodwill. So these are the intangible benefits. Now we move to estimating the project cost. How to calculate project cost? How much you quote to the customer? So these are the main cost estimation methods which are available. We have line of code method, we have function point method, we have backfiring method, we have COCOMO, constructive cost model 1, constructive cost model 2, new line of code method, we have use case point method, we have agile estimation. So we'll discuss one by one. These all are used to calculate the project cost. Let's go to the line of code method. Line of code method was introduced in 1970s. It was the first method in the history of software engineering, and you have a matrix, like you have project title, line of code, table. You have a table, project title, lines of code, effort, cost, pages of documentation, errors, defects, people. So this table is available. Here I want to clarify a few things. There is a relation between people and effort. Relation between people and effort. Effort is in person month or person year. If, for example, team size is equal to 10 persons and effort is equal to 40 persons month, what does it mean? How you interpret it? 40 divided by 10, that means one person will do the job of 4 persons in 1 month. That is the reason in software companies, the team size is always small and there is no time to leave. They have a time to come, but you have to complete your job and then you can leave. It is not 8 to 4 job like bank or white collar job. You have faculty or staff, for example, like in King Abdullah University, after Salah or Bada Salah, Masalam, Masalam, Tata bye bye. So that's not the case. In the academic environment, they have 8 to 4 job. Administrative staff or government offices, they have time to come, time to go. In software companies, there is time to come. For example, if it is like working in the morning, normally software companies are working in the night because they are working online with the American clients or UK clients. So when we have day in Pakistan, they have night. When they have day, we have night. So normally office environment, the office working time starts from 4 or 5 p.m. There are some companies which are working in the day. Like I remember Atrix Solutions, they are working in the morning like 8 to 5 or 9 to 5 for example. But most of the companies are working in the night. So they come normally 4 p.m., 5 p.m. And it's not like around 12 a.m. or 1 a.m. they say Masalam, Masalam. Because the project manager will assign tasks to them and then they have to complete their task and then they can leave. When they are deploying and they are integrating, sometimes they spend 2 days, 3 days in the software company. They don't go home until the installation or release is deployed and customers start using it. So every software company has 3 areas. They have working area, they have meeting area, and they have relaxation area. So now the relaxation area, when you are not going to home or you want to take some rest, you go there and you can take a nap or you can have some game, you can play game. Like the Google or Facebook, they have working environment in which they have like swimming pool, washing machine, table tennis table, long tennis court, a swimming pool, washing machine, cafeteria open 24 hour. So to have them a home environment. Total effort of the team is 40%. Yes, this is correct. Effort is 40%, but the employees size, team size is 10. So in this way, one person has to do the job of 4 persons in 1 month. So overall effort is 40% month. So they keep less team size and they ask them to work more. And that is the reason they work more than 8 hours, sometimes 12 hours, 13 hours, 14 hours. So as a programmer, software engineer job is very hectic. It's very stressful job, and because you have to deploy, you have to fix the code. Sometimes bugs are there, tasks are assigned, you have to complete them and then you can leave. It's not like 4 p.m. you say or 12 a.m. you say, thank you very much, I have completed my 8 hours, I'm leaving. Assalamu alaikum, assalamu alaikum. No, you have to complete the task and then you can leave. So this is the working environment. So that is the reason I'm explaining you the relation between people and effort. Team size is always less, but effort is always high. And then we have discussed the difference between errors and defects. What is the difference between errors and defects? The errors which are reported at the software company side, we call them errors. The bugs which are reported by the customer, we call them defects. So when customer is doing testing, he always submit us a defect report. So that's the defects, the bugs which are reported by the customer during testing or even when he is using the actual release. Maybe some bugs are identified. I remember one defect was reported after 25 years of usage in one of the hospital management system, like we have Jeddah Al-Ahli Hospital, King Abdulaziz University Hospital, King Fahd Hospital. We have Shalimar Hospital in my location. So a patient was readmitted after 25 years. So they tried to retrieve the patient history and that was a defect and then it was fixed. Similarly, Microsoft Windows bug was reported in Windows 95, bug was reported in 2014. So after almost 19 years, this bug was reported, so it was defect reported by IBM. So these are the metrics available in the line of code method. So it depends on the history of previous projects. So project title, for example, A project A, lines of code like 40,000 lines, effort, for example, 40, cost in $10,000, 400 pages of documentation, 50 errors, 10 defects, and 10 team size. Project B, 50,000 lines, effort 50, cost $20,000, pages of documentation 500, errors 60, defects 20, people 15. So in this way, you have project A, project B, project C. And then the problem with this line of code method, the software companies refused to use it, rejected it, because it depends on the history, tarikh of previous projects. Any other problem in the line of code method, you will tell the customer that this will be the project cost based on the history of previous projects, tarikh of previous project. Any other problem of lines of code method. The main problems or disadvantages of line of code method, it's a language dependent. For example, previous project you have done using COBOL, Pascal, C, C++, which is hard-coded languages in which we don't have IDE environment, integrated development environment. In that case, your new project is in .NET or in PHP or in Java using NetBeans. So you have integrated development environment where ready-made components are available. In COBOL, C, Pascal, Fortran, you have to write code to draw text box, to draw label box, option box, to draw form. Then secondly, you have to write the code to make them functional. So it's a very hectic exercise. You need lot of effort, lot of time, lot of cost. But in the IDE environment, ready-made components are available in the frameworks like Visual Studio .NET, NetBeans, Power Builder, Delphi, Eclipse. So you just drag and drop and your interface is ready. So in hard-coded languages like COBOL, Pascal, Fortran, C, you have to write a lot of code to design an interface, and then you have to write the code for the functionality of the project. That is the second part. First, you have to design your interfaces. So it's need lot of time to write the projects. But now new project is, for example, in .NET, C# or in Java or PHP, when we have Cake PHP, Zen PHP, WAMP framework is available. So you don't need to concentrate too much time to design your interfaces and then make them functional. It's already ready-made environment. You just write the code for the new project, and there is no comparison of the hard-coded languages, RAD environment, rapid application development environment, with the hard-coded languages like COBOL, C, C++, Java. So that is another problem. The cost will be different. For the hard-coded language, cost will be high, whereas IDE environment cost will be less. So effort is less as compared to the hard-coded language. So your cost is high in the hard-coded languages, but cost is less in the integrated development environment, rapid application development tools. That is the cost estimation will be totally different for the hard-coded language and for the IDE environment. And another problem, that this matrix is complete for the current project once project is completed. So there is no benefit of the line of code method, because project title, line of code, effort, cost, pages of documentation, errors, defects, people, once your project is completed. So it could be beneficial for the new project, but no benefit for the current project. So that is another problem of line of code method. And there is no direct way to calculate the complexity. So we have complexity projects like high complexity, average complexity, low complexity, or simple complexity project. So high complexity project cost is different, average complexity project cost is different, simple complexity or low complexity cost is different. There is no indication of complexity for the cost estimation. So because of that, software companies rejected line of code method. Because of that, your cost will not be accurate. It will be wrong, because hard-coded language is different And for the new project, if it is in using the frameworks, cost will be different. And the errors will give you an indication that how many bugs will come in your project. Like defects approximate that this could be the errors, this could be the defects, this could be the team size. So these are the main parameters for the line of code method matrix. Line of code method is used to calculate the cost of project. Because it was rejected by software companies, then function point method was introduced. Function point method, it depends on functionality of the new project. So it directly deals with the main functions of the new project. It was introduced in 1979 and then it was standardized in 1983, and an organization was established. Its name is International Function Point User Group, IFPUG, and it is the most widely used cost estimation technique in the software companies, software industry. And from 1979 till 2021, it is the most widely practiced cost estimation method to calculate the cost of new project. It depends on two parameters. It has a formula. Function point is equal to UFC multiplied by TCF. UFC stands for unadjustable function count and TCF stands for technical complexity factor. So UFC multiplied by TCF. Normally students do mistake in exam. When I gave them exercise, a problem to calculate the cost by using function point method, instead of multiplication they use plus sign because this formula will not be available. So they, instead of multiply, they use plus sign and then their function point is wrong and rest of the calculation is wrong to calculate the project cost. So UFC depends on 5 parameters. UFC depends on 5 parameters. It depends on number of external inputs, number of external outputs, number of inquiries, number of files, logical files, and number of external interfaces. So we have inputs and we have inquiry. What is the difference between them? Input, like you have registration. So you will enter course ID, course name, student name for bank, customer ID, customer name, customer contact, customer address. This is input. But inquiry is like help, is like query. Like each application software has help. Like you can see in Office a question mark. As you can see in your screen, the PowerPoint has question mark, which is the inquiry, query of the user. Like Excel has inquiry, Office Word has inquiry. So it's every system, every application has help file is there. So that is inquiry, query of the user. So how many queries are there by the user regarding the understanding of the system, regarding the understanding of some function they want to find out. So they will use query or they will use the question mark. So that is inquiry. And inputs are the main inputs, like I gave you example: student ID, student name, student contact, student address, employee ID, employee name, department ID, department name, employee address. So that is input. But that inquiry is the query of the user from the system. So you have 5 parameters: inputs, outputs, inquiry, file, interfaces. For each of them, you have to put optimistic, you have to put realistic, you have to put pessimistic. So optimistic, realistic, pessimistic, worst, best, average. 3 input. Optimistic is the best and pessimistic is the worst and realistic is the average. So for example, maximum, some people are very optimistic, positive. Some people are very pessimistic, negative. They take everything negative. Why with me? Why with me? Optimistic, positive people, they always say, if something bad happen, it comes from Allah. It is good for me. And that is, there is average approach. Some people, they are not pessimistic, they are not optimistic. So you will consider 3, you will enter 3 parameters. for inputs, for outputs, for inquiries, for files, for interfaces. Optimistic, realistic, pessimistic. And then you will use a formula O plus 4 into R plus P divided by 6. As you can see on the screen, estimated count, average count, O plus 4 into R, realistic, average, because you are giving more weightage to that. So 4R, 4 multiplied by R plus P, and it's average formula. So 1 count for optimistic, 4 count for realistic, 1 count for pessimistic. So 1 plus 4, 5, 5 plus 1, 6, 6 divided by 6 to calculate the average count. It's called estimated count or EC. So you will calculate EC for each of them, for inputs, for outputs, for inquiries, for files, for interfaces, and you will calculate EC for each of them. And then, thank you very much. I will continue inshallah from the function point in the next lecture. See you. Salam alaikum. Love you. Take care. Stay blessed, healthy and happy.